Hello there, Karen here again, and today I'm using the November 2018 hip kit to scrapbook these pictures of my daughter and her baby. And I started off by using that sketch you saw just flash up on the screen there. Don't commit it to memory because the sketch doesn't really come about. So I wanted to use these Heidi Swapp stencils. They're really pretty, and this rose one just stood out for me. I thought I'd just try it out on a piece of blank card first of all to see how it came up, whether to do it onto some white background or quite how to use it. I wasn't sure. And I also want to try out these colours. These are by Opal Magic, and they actually were in the January 2019 kits from the colour kit. And this pink one is called coral green. I don't really get the green, but that's what they call it. So it's quite a corally colour. And really beautiful colour. So I just thought I'd dab it on, see how it looked, what sort of impression it made on the card underneath is what I was interested in. That's why I was trying it out, see how much came through, and whether it made the sort of design I wanted to use. So I'm just dabbing it on with one of those Ranger dabber things. And actually the colour doesn't come through, I didn't feel that strongly. The shape of it was a bit patchy. So I just kept going, had another go. I wanted to do the leaves, so I've used another of the pots of the coral Opal Magic, and this one is teal pink. And again, I get the teal, or I think it's more of a minty green, really. So again, it's pretty, but I wasn't sure about how it looked on the background, coming through it, using it as a stencil. But in the end, I thought it'd be nice to use the actual stencil itself because I thought that was really pretty. So I thought I'd just carry on colouring those in, the roses and the leaves, colouring them in with the paints, and just complete it that way. And I thought, well, I can always use the piece of card at another time as a background. But I just thought I actually cut it into about half, this stencil, and I thought, well, I'll just use that as a corner piece because that's really pretty. And then there was a tiny little bit of the design that looked like a different sort of flower. So I thought I'd use the yellow one, which was also in the colour kit. All three came in the January colour kit. And this one is yellow pink. And they're all quite shiny and slightly, I don't know, what do you call it? Glistening, I don't know. Anyway, while they're drying, I'm just going through the papers, trying to find some papers that would work for the sketch that I flashed up earlier. I came to this paper and I really liked it. So I'm putting aside on the right the ones that I think I might use, and the ones that I don't think quite work with the photos, I'm putting on the other side. And I started with my white background and put the stencil on. And then I did this piece of paper. I thought, well, that really doesn't work. That doesn't go. But it does go quite well with the photos, as does the green. So I'm just trying it out. I like these three bits of paper, the green and the scripty paper, and that lovely yellow floral. As you may know if you've watched any of my videos, yellow is not my usual go-to colour. It's not colour I use very much at all, but I did really like this paper. That floral paper is, I did much of this kit is by Heidi Swapp, and it's the Emerson Lane collection. And the other collection that was used in this kit was the Jen Hadfield collection along the way, but quite a lot of the papers are from Heidi Swapp. And this particular one, this yellow floral, which I really liked, it's called, I think it's that one. No, it's not that one. So I've got all the strips here in front of me. It's called Pretty Please. So then I found this paper, this beautiful floral paper, and I thought the colours went really well with the yellow floral paper. So I thought I'd fussy cut some of the flowers. This one is also from Emerson Lane, and it's called Semi-Sweet. So I started cutting out some of those flowers, and I thought, well, they worked really well with the photos and with the background. But of course, the stencil that I've painted doesn't go at all with those colours. So I had to put that aside. And by the time I'd cut out some of these florals, the sketch went out the window as well, because I just liked the way this looked with the single page background with all those sketchy yellow florals, and then the fussy cut flowers as well. I just liked the way it all went together with the photos. I thought it went with the mood of the photos. They're quite whimsical. It's my daughter cuddling her little girl, as she does so many times. I mean, they do take a lovely photo together, all snuggled up. And I just thought these particular papers went so well with that feel. So I abandoned the sketch and then just kept going in my own way, picking out some papers to back the photos with. I really don't like this wood grain, yellow wood grain. I don't like wood grain, don't like yellow, but even though I don't like the paper very much, it went very well as a background for my photos, because it just set them off against that yellowy floral background, and I made it quite a narrow border. And I also used a piece of this pink, it's like a watercolory paper, and this one is from Emerson Lane as well, and that one is called Old School. That's the pink. So I used a bit of that. I've gutted it so that I could still use the outside for a background on another layout. I don't very often remember to do that, but it means that you then, I can still use it, and it looks like I've got a whole sheet of paper. So I've just taken the middle out because I only wanted it for backing the photos. So I just gutted out the middle, and then that's what I'm going to use. Using my old trimmer there, which is still going, even though I've got the green one, the Cutter Pro. I can't remember what it's called, the green one anyway. But my old one is better for gutting. So I've got the pink background, a little narrow pink background, and then I'm just going to back it again with this yellowy wood grainy paper, which is from the yellow one. The wood grain is actually the one sheet of paper from One Canoe 2 from the Goldenrod collection. So but it matches so well with the other colours in this Heidi Swapp collection. So I thought it did work quite well as a backing paper. So I'm just arranging the flowers that I've fussy cut around the photos, and I really like how that looks. It's just soft and gentle, and I just think it works really well with those photos. I'm just deciding where I want them to go, whether I need any more. And then I found this little pack. This is actually the one thing that was exclusive to Hip Kit Club. It's one that they've designed, and it's a load of acetate leaves. It's a whole pile of them. So I decided to pick out the ones that would coordinate with this layout. So just the pink ones and the yellow ones. I tried a few other colours. There's all sorts of colours in there. There was some minty green, and there was some orange leaves, and I tried a few out, but in the end I thought I'd just stick to the ones in the pink and the yellow, which would then coordinate nicely and not bring in too many other jarring colours, and just stick with the colours that were already on the layout, because it's quite busy. So I didn't really want to bring too many other colours in. So now I'm just starting to stick them down, tucking the photos around, the flowers around the photos, and tucking in the acetate leaves as well as I go along. Just using some wet glue. And it dries clear, and you don't really see it when it dries, even with the acetate, even though they're see-through. You don't see the glue. I'm just carrying on, tucking them around all around the layout, just trying to concentrate mainly on the bottom right hand and the bottom left and top right hand corner, leaving a couple of more open spaces in the opposite corner so it doesn't look too cluttered, and it leaves me a bit of room when I decide what I'm going to do for my title, leaving myself a little bit of room to do that. And I've just cut one more little pink flower out to add a little bit of dimension. I'm putting it up on a bit of foam, because there was a bit of a hole, if you can see, in those flowers at the bottom, a bit of a gap. So I thought, I'll put another flower there, but just pop it up a little bit on foam to give it a little bit more dimension on the page. I don't go for a great deal, a lot of dimension on this page, but I just thought that one worked, popping it up. And then I've got these stickers. They're from the Heidi Swapp Emerson Lane collection again, just having a look at what stickers might work. And I found this lovely. Well, I'm just going to separate the two halves so that they're easier to see what I've got. And I just, because one is a sheet of labels and the other one is stickers. So I thought I'd just separate them and I can look at them separately. So I picked out this heart, this navy blue heart with the flowers that match the flowers that I've been fussy cutting out. And I thought that worked really well, just tucked in there and bridging the gap between the two photos. I like that tucked in there. It won't need there's not a lot of embellishment needed on this layout because it's pretty busy already. I want to do a little cluster up on the top left hand corner, so I could put my date. And so I just used half the label, hung it off the edge. I'll trim that off in a moment. And I've just found a sticker that says "You are loved," and it's got the green in it. If you can see, my daughter's wearing a green jacket, so I think it's bringing in that bit of green from the photos. And there's a slight greeny hue to some of those photos, to some of those flowers as well. And then just looking through all the embellishments from the embellishment pack, I believe that's also from Emerson Lane. I think it's the same collection. And just picking out a few little die cuts that I thought might work. Cutting out one more, there's more of a half flower just off the edge of the paper, just to tuck it in there on that label. Bringing that flower up to the top left corner. And trying to find a couple of other little bits of embellishment just to go with it, to bring that little cluster together with the main layout. Just popping my date on there, just going down the side of the label. And I'm just finding a couple more little leaves and things to put up the top there. So I'm just going to stick down that half a flower. And I've got another couple of little leaves. I'm just trying to decide what leaf to put up the top there. So I wanted to bring one of the acetate leaves up, bring all the bits together. So I'm just going to pop that little pink one up there. There it goes. And now I'm going back to my sticker sheet, and I've got them just taking some little hearts from the sticker sheet to add to that cluster. Sticking this piece on now, just giving it a little bit of extra glue. It wasn't sticking very well. It just says "You are loved." And just looking to see what else I can put on there, and then another little heart is going to be added. And I found this die cut. It's a house, a die cut of a house, as you can see, and it says "Home is where you are." And I thought, I really like that. That's just the right sentiment for this layout. It's just, the two of them, and they are snuggling up together, and it just felt right, that little sentiment of "Home is where you are." So I thought I'd use that as my title and pop it in the bottom right corner there. And another little sticker from the sheet which says "Together." And I'm going to just tuck that in, stick that down now. That works for me as a title. I don't very often use die cuts as titles, but I thought this just was the perfect sentiment. And just looking through a few more of the die cuts that came with the kit, trying out a few more. And this is a sheet of layered stickers. These are by Jen Hadfield. And I use a couple of these, but I did find that some of them have got a little word label sticking out. You see, that's a little house, and I thought, well, that's nice to have another house. So I'd already got one house on, so the theme is home and love. So, but I found that some of the labels, you couldn't read the whole word. This label actually said hello, but all you could see was hello. The label hadn't been stuck on properly, so I had to take the top layer off. Pull out the little, you can see I'm just showing you that it actually says, you can see the hello now, and then stick it back on again with the little labely bit pulled out a little bit more. And I'm just sticking on, this is another little die cut. This one says "Fabulous Memories," and I thought that was nice, just tucked in there again. I was looking for colours that would coordinate. Going for another one of these layered stickers. I like this one. It's got the flowers that are similar to the flowers on that have been fussy cut. And again, if you can see there, you can only see a P-day. P-day. You can't see the whole word. So I'm just taking off the flower, moving out the label, sticking it back on again, so that you can actually see the whole word, or the two words that it's supposed to say. You can see there it says "Happy Day." So, and I just like that there, because it just similar flowers, and it all coordinates with what was already on the layout. So I'm just keeping it all in a certain theme, not adding too many extra colours, and I just like all these little bits tucked around. So nearly there we are, it's all done. Thank you for joining me. Please join me again soon, and like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye.